Hello and welcome to World Class. This time we discover arguably the most glamorous principality in the world, Monaco. Renowned for its glitzy parties, luxury yachts, and tax-free benefits, Monaco is a truly unique and seductive place. Here, a leisurely drive through its tight, winding streets conjures images of Stirling Moss, Nigel Mansell, Michael Schumacher, and Jenson Button fighting to overtake in the Monaco Grand Prix. Remarkably, this tiny country is only 2 kilometers square, and yet every corner and every vantage point offers wonderful surprises. For example, looking east, you can see into France, with the beautiful Italian Riviera in the distance beyond. It's a fairy tale town, for it's here that Grace Kelly, after meeting Prince Rainier III while filming the Alfred Hitchcock classic To Catch a Thief, had a magical wedding and became Princess Grace of Monaco. This little jewel, landlocked by France and the warm Mediterranean Sea, is the perfect place for watching the rich and famous pose atop their luxurious floating palaces. It's a place for lazy strolls, outdoor snacks, and cold French beer. In this part of Europe, the summers are long and idyllic. The short winter season is mild, allowing for woolly jumpers by day rather than the thick, heavy coats needed in northern Europe. Monaco boasts some incredible hotels to service most needs, but there are very few at the top of the jet-set wish list. One that makes that grade is the Hotel Metropole, a palatial property that's steeped in history.
The history of the hotel goes way back. As a matter of fact, the Hotel Metropole was the first palace hotel here in Monaco, and it was built originally in 1886. And then throughout the years lived many different lives. It was bought in 1986 by the Bustani family. After some time, they decided actually to close it down and completely refurbish it. The idea was to create something unique, something special that could compete among the very best in the world. That's how Jacques Garcia came into play as the interior designer. Jacques Garcia is a very world-renowned interior designer. That was the first step into this reinvention, I would call it, of the Hotel Metropole.
Recognized by the illustrious hotel guide, The Kiwi Collection, this hotel is unique in its look and feel. Be prepared for the wow factor as soon as you walk in.
You can have, the most beautiful product, which in a way is easy as long as you put money and you have it. But it will serve absolutely to nothing if you don't have the right people that are there to make it unique. You can teach somebody if they're missing something, but the personal feel, the passion, the human warmth, that you cannot teach.
The staff are gracious and friendly. Here, no request is too much trouble, but for those who demand a more personal touch, a new service has been introduced.
One of the things that we implemented recently in the last 7 months is a personalized service by a butler. He's there to assist you with anything that you need. It's like your guardian angel. He can be there if you want him to be there, or he can be completely invisible. We are sitting in the suite Carré d'Or, which is our main suite. It's a 2-bedroom apartment with, of course, all the gadgets that all the top suites has. With a wonderful terrace which is overlooking the casino square.
Above the pool, the terrace is the perfect place to host the odd cocktail party before visiting the famous casino of Monte Carlo, but more on that later. Taking the Strait at a far slower pace than Jenson Button or Lewis Hamilton, we arrive at the main harbor of Port Hercule, just a stone's throw away from the main shops and sights. But of course, everything is just a stone's throw away in Monaco. Or is it Monte Carlo?
Monte Carlo is the southeast side. It's kind of the high-end area with all the chic shops and the casino, and it was named after Charles III. Monte Carlo, and Monaco is known, Monacoville, behind us where the palace is known as the Old Town, the old part of Monaco.
Also known as Le Rocher, or the Rock, it is one of the four quarters of Monaco.
There's great little streets up there with little shops and the chocolate factory of Monaco, designer clothes shops, souvenirs, great restaurants. It's where the cathedral is, the Monaco Cathedral. Used to be St. Nicholas Church, where Princess Grace and Rainier were married, and now they're buried. Most of the princes from Monaco were buried there.
Consecrated in 1875, it stands on the site of the first parish church of Monaco and is one of the many things to explore on the Rock.
There's the museum up there, the Oceanographic Museum that was founded by Prince Albert I.
A must-visit is the Princess Palace, home to the Grimaldi family, rulers of Monaco, a family of strong values, it seems.
The princesses and the prince are very present in their country. They're very involved. The prince is is our ecological leader. I'd say number one in the world, probably. His sisters are very involved in the culture. Princess Stephanie has her Fight AIDS Association. They're just really down-to-earth people. It's just here you can run into them everywhere, very friendly and very accessible.
You going to mug me?
I'm not going to mug you.
Is that gorgeous or what, eh?
And I believe I can run a decent marathon.
Thank you very much.
Download Veiling now.
There aren't many beaches, but the few that exist are picture perfect, with golden sand and crystal clear waters. Monaco is the second smallest principality in the world, second only to the Vatican. Because of its small size, the locals, or monegasques, have been forced to build up and under in order to squeeze in their population of 33,000, making this the world's most densely populated principality.
Monaco was mainly first known for its port, the port of Hercules, actually, because they say Hercules came through here. So it was a port of trade, and it has some of the most luxurious boats in the world.
The world-class team simply adore luxury yachts, so we were delighted to be invited on board the stunning White Rose of Drax by its captain, Andrew Schofield. Charged with the role of chartering this is Gai Joyeux Bourgeois.
She's a 65-meter motor yacht built in the German shipyard of Kusch. She's the third for this owner. Basically, she was designed to be a modern classic, to be an ageless yacht. No matter what age she would become, she would still be deemed as modern, comfortable, luxurious, and so on. On this yacht, you have a unique layout for the accommodation. On most yachts of this size and caliber, you have the master suite on the main deck, but on this particular yacht, you also have the guest accommodation, so you can pass from the bar aft forward through the guest accommodation into the master suite, which is very palatial.
Palatial it certainly is. We're sure the question on everybody's mind will be, how much? Well, we have it on good authority that you won't get much change from 80 million euros. Which makes the cost of this champagne bottle, smashed on its hull by the Duchess of York, Sarah Ferguson, simply a drop in the ocean. When at sea, you need state-of-the-art systems, from satellite navigation to high-speed broadband connections. Global updates are all important, from weather reports to printing the captain's daily newspapers.
A lot of our guests, what they tend to do is spend a few days ashore, especially if they're coming in from abroad. They then board their yacht in Monaco usually. They take their cruise 7 days, 10 days, 3 weeks, whatever. They tend to then come back to Monaco for the shopping, the security, the nightlife, their friends. In summer there's this whole social circuit, and that's what they tend to do.
These days, luxury spas go hand in hand with luxury hotels, and this hotel is proud to offer one of the best facilities in town.
The spa has been designed, the Metropole spa has been designed by Garcia, who actually is the designer, the famous designer for all the hotel. The idea is that the guest, when comes in the spa, he will feel or she will feel completely cut it from the outsider world. That's why actually our guests will never want to leave. We have a beautiful pool on the top area with the seawater. Of course, we are providing a lot of kind of treatments. All treatments are based on the natural products, and we are doing a lot of holistic treatment. So the main idea here is not just to provide a treatment, but to give a special experience for our guests. That's why, for example, we start the treatment with a food ritual for help to distress, and in that case the treatments will be much more benefic. For the people living in Monaco, it's something very important to have a very high quality spa here, who provides very high quality treatment and something completely different than the usual spas does.
You simply can't beat a 5-star spa.
The hotel changes its feel around 4 to 5 times a year, with whether it's to do the flower decoration, with cushions in the room, and with all the glassware and silverware in the restaurants. There's an hotel that is in continuous evolution. This is complemented with our sound director that changes the music according to the mood of the hotel. Once you have the aesthetic sorted out, you need to think what can you offer to your clients, and one of the big parts of an hotel is, of course, food and beverage. Joël Bouchon has been voted Chef of the Century by Guide Millot. Today is the chef that holds the most Michelin stars in the world. He has a total of 25. He's helping us out with everything that is to do with our kitchens. He said what is important is that we have a restaurant which is accessible, where quality of food is phenomenal. However, the service style and the ambience is very easygoing. It's very yes, professional, however friendly, not trying too hard to make it something which is not. It's highlighted by the fact that we have an open kitchen. There is a great exchange of energy between the room and the kitchen, and it makes it a very, very, very unique experiences. We thought, what can we do? What can we create that complements what we have right now? And together we agreed to do a Japanese restaurant. We wanted to give, in terms of style and decor, something different. So it's much more contemporary, with very bright, shiny colors. So it has a much more eclectic and modern appeal. Keeping the principles of the other restaurant, meaning an open kitchen where there is an exchange. You know, you can see the sushi man preparing the sushi à la minute, and you're there.
By the way, the little black bears that made a few appearances are the much-loved Yoshi mascots. Taking a stroll from one end of Monaco to the other can be done in under an hour, but there are easier ways.
When people arrive from Nice airport to be in Monte Carlo, we can also make some transfer with a very nice Rolls Royce.
Isn't this a delightful way to go window shopping?
Also transfer by air, we have a very nice company, it's Elia Monaco. The flight is just 7 minutes, and between this flight they can see all the coast. If guests want to have a very nice panoramic tour, we can propose S Village.
Heading southwesterly along the coast and into France, you come across the medieval village of Ise, located 1,400 feet above the sea on a rock overlooking the fantastic Côte d'Azur coastline.
We have a very nice restaurant like La Chèvre d'Or with a very nice terrace. We have one part the view on Saint-Jean-Cap-Ferrat. On the other part you have the view on Italy coast. That's very nice for guests.
A series of terraces drop down toward the ocean, revealing quiet courtyards, sun decks, Moroccan-style gardens, and swimming pools. Once your energy levels are recharged, take a walk through the cobbled streets and explore the little nooks and crannies. It's a fascinating village, with views all around. And as you work your way up, you come across the lovely, exotic gardens of Ise. This has to be one of the best views of the Côte d'Azur. The view of Ise, looking back up to the village from Saint-Jean-Cap-de-Ferrat, is equally impressive. Wow, what an incredible landscape. Around the corner, and yet another gem. This is the Rothschilds' lavish Belle Epoque villa, made famous by Hollywood when it featured in the film Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Nestled in the crystal-clear waters of the Baie Villefranche is the small village of Villefranche-sur-Mer, hailed as the jewel in the crown of the Côte d'Azur. It's no secret that jewels attract celebrities, and this petit bijou town is no exception. Both Tina Turner and Catherine Mansfield chose to live here, along with Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones, who recorded the 1972 album Exile on Main Street while at home right here. Those heady rock and roll days have passed, leaving this little fishing village peaceful and tranquil. It's the perfect place to stop and enjoy a chilled glass of Sauvignon Blanc as you watch the world go by. It's time to up the tempo, so what better way to head back to Monaco than by helicopter? This seems to be the standard mode of transport around here, and one we could easily become accustomed to. Our pilot Jérôme was only too happy to act as tour guide along the way, taking the time to point out the various sites and points of interest, fortunately while keeping both hands on the controls. Possibly not the best idea for those with a fear of heights, but there really is no better way of seeing your holiday destination than from above. Ah, there's our old friend, the village of Ise. With our feet firmly back on terra firma, it's time for one of our last excursions. This is the Casino Square in Monte Carlo, home to one of the most famous buildings of this region, the Monte Carlo Casino. The casino was built by the architect Charles Garnier, who also created the Paris Opera. This building has become famous over the years, not just for its beautiful facade or for gambling, but also for the movies it is featured in. James Bond aficionados will recognize it instantly as the backdrop for Pierce Brosnan's debut in GoldenEye. Casino Square is a hub of activity, with celeb spotters craning to watch the arriving supercars for a snatched glimpse of yet another rock star or actor from the silver screen, while others simply enjoy the lush gardens at the center of the square. No matter what your preference, there's no doubt that Monaco is a special place, and no more so than when the sun sets and we move into the twilight hour. As we say goodbye to our hotel, the temptation is simply to stay and continue with the magic, and of course we would if another fabulous world-class location was not beckoning us. Perhaps, though, it's a good time to leave, as Monaco has a melting effect on the credit card. But of course you wouldn't expect anything less for splendor such as this. Monaco is certainly a place to revisit time and time again, whether for the Grand Prix or to shop, to gamble, or simply admire its majesty. For now, it's time for the world-class team to say farewell. Till the next time, goodbye.
Hello, and welcome to World Class, the series that brings you the finest of luxury hotels in some of the greatest destinations our planet has to offer. This time, we visit two countries with incredible hotel properties in Latin America. In Lima, Peru, Arequipa and Colca Canyon will be featured later in the show. But first, we visit the Caribbean seas of the Yucatan Peninsula and the idyllic getaway resort that's only a short drive from the mayhem of Cancun. Yes, welcome to paradise. This is the award-winning hideaway of Maroma. But aside from this incredible beach, what makes this place so exclusive?
What sets Maroma apart is, first of all, the location of Maroma, which is only 35 minutes drive from the second largest airport in the country with excellent airlift. The fact that the resort sits on 25 acres of jungle reserve. Maroma is basically nestled in that jungle. Part of a very important component of that composition, obviously, in addition to the jungle, is the ocean. The Maroma beach is just unique. The sand is basically powder. And it has this coral that dissolves in the sand, which is a pink coral. You can see it when you have it on your hand. And that prevents the sand from heating up. So literally you can walk on that sand barefoot noontime and you will not feel any burning on your feet. And that makes it very unique. Even though we are located in Riviera Maya, which is known by the number of different hotels that are located here, we're still secluded in our own bay. So you don't really have to travel 24 hours to get into a little hideaway. You drive 35 minutes, you arrive here to Maroma, you get margaritas, and then you get immersed in the experience of Maroma. Our staff are the most wonderful thing that Maroma has. And Maroma wouldn't be Maroma if we didn't have our staff, our family. And our Mayan staff really makes a big difference because they are the ones that serve from the heart.
It is true that wherever you stay, it's the staff that can make or break any vacation. Here, the staff are so good that you become much more than a guest. Indeed, much more than just another face, for here you become a friend. Moreover, you become somebody that is looked after in much the same way as you would look after an old friend, staying in your home.
They speak the dialects, and they were born in the region. So when you have somebody who has been born in the region, obviously, they bring that essence into the experience. And so we try not to do anything commercialized on the Mayan side, evidently. The spa plays a very important role, Quinan, for instance. A lot of the Mayan traditions, a lot of the Mayan concepts, herbs, etc., are incorporated in those treatments, for instance.
The name of the spa is Quinan. Quinan means the source of the sun, which we interpret to be our own inner sanctuary crystal spirit. So the whole concept of the spa is that we actually come back to our source, the Quinan.
In 2008, the Travel and Leisure World's Best Awards rated this resort as the best hotel spa in Latin America. But they also ranked them overall as the 5th best hotel spa in the world.
We created it architecturally with Mayan sacred geometry, which is a sacred science of the Mayans, and it's based on proportions. So if you were to take the proportion of your belly button down to your feet or belly button to head, and then take and break that down to the smallest portion, and then look at a shell and measure all the rings of the shell and take that proportion, you would get the same universal number. So what we did is we took that number and applied it to everything that we built in the spa, from the height of the palapa, the width of the treatment rooms, the size of the squares of the blocks that we use. In addition to that, we placed water fountains in the north, the south, and the west. And the purpose behind that was that the water would constantly be moving, which in turn, it moves energy in, because what we do at a spa is we work with a lot of energy. This really helps to clean, so it's a natural cleansing. The treatment rooms were designed so it would be a residential style. They are for couples. They're big enough for couples, and they have showers and bathrooms, so we can do all of our treatments in there.
Many of the treatments offered at Quinan are based on ancient Mayan healing. Some of the services will not be found anywhere else in the world. The treatments use different local Mexican muds that heal different properties of the body. One helps pain, one helps swelling, one helps with acne and other skin problems.
So I created that so that guests who didn't necessarily want a treatment could go into the sauna and steam and self-apply the muds and heal themselves in the sauna and steam rooms. And I was in there actually taking the treatment. It felt so good to massage the mud. What I did is I grabbed a therapist, I took them into the room, and I asked them to massage me with the mud. And it ended up being one of the most amazing massages, because you can really get a deep connection with the muscles and the slip of the mud. And it also is very detoxifying and full of minerals and vitamins.
But for the ultimate experience, try the Temazcal.
When you go to the Temazcal, you will feel the same when you were in the womb of your mother. Because it's dark and warm, and I work with the 4 elements. The earth is our body, the water is our blood, the wind is our breathing, and the fire is our spirit. And I start with the ceremony, and after I clean the body of the guest with that incense, and after we're ready to go in. My assistant, and he hit the rocks in one oven with the wood. And when we are ready, and the people sit on the sand, and he put the rocks, and I made the tea with different herbs. And I close the door, and the Temazcal is dark.
The feedback that we have from guests is, number one, that they don't feel like if they had been in a hotel. Some other guests say that, I remember somebody saying that she hasn't been in heaven, or she thought she would see heaven until she died, until she came to Maroma, you know, which really makes a big difference. 40% of our clientele are repeated guests. Maroma was conceived by Jose Luis Moreno, who was the original owner, who's an amazing architect. He has created an environment which combines the traditional Mexican hacienda designs and traditions in conjunction with a bit of a Moorish style, Greek style in certain areas, that at the end of the day gives a very important component on the personality of the architecture of Maroma. The rooms as well, they haven't been designed as a hotel room. They're not necessarily uniform rooms or box rooms. They're all in different sizes and shapes. Some of them are located with views to the garden, some others have ocean views, and some others are right there by the beach, like Siena. One of the new products that we have is Siena, which in Maya means House of Heaven. These are 9 of our new suites. They're over 2,000 square feet each in average. And we have brought in the spa component experience into the suites. So they are located oceanfront, you have your own private beach. But the most important component there is the romantic component, because we have specialized even more on the romantic side there in setting special amenities up for guests or just setting up the right environment.
The whole essence is romance. Here, the natural harmony and the spiritual relationship between land and sea comes together. A candlelit meal in the restaurant is just the start of a wonderful evening experience.
The very first thing I did personally when I came into Maroma was to set 1,000 candles throughout the resort. And until today we do that. The candles set a very, very important romantic scene at night. Because by nature, the most important thing of Maroma is that it's romantic by nature. The fact that we don't operate this hotel as if it was a hotel. The experience is not being in a hotel, the experience is being in a house. You don't sign checks. We call you by your first name. We know you. We want to pamper you. We want to make a very special stay in Maroma. That's the luxury of Maroma.
So that's our resort in Mexico. We hope you agree it's truly world class. It's time to take a flight across continents to make a journey of just over 2,000 miles here to Lima, the capital and largest city in Peru. Our first stop is one of the most important tourist destinations in the country. This is the historic center, a must for any lover of colonial architecture. Here, buildings like the Archbishop's Palace, the Basilica Cathedral, and of course, the seat of the government, the Palace of Justice, are all quite incredible buildings to behold.
You can find everything in Lima.
But there is much more than just beautiful buildings here. This is a shopper's paradise.
A lot of silver jewelry boutiques, also textiles, alpacas. We can say that we are a country that also offers history, cultural, also security for people coming from abroad. And another reason why you need to come to Peru is because you now have luxury hotels.
Like here, the Miraflores Park Hotel, a coastal oasis of luxury that's the place to be seen in the city. Here, the mega-rich mingle with celebrities and politicians alike. Its restaurants buzz with an ambience of the well-heeled. This is a place not only to relax, but to strike and close business deals.
The 82 suites that we have in Miraflores Park Hotel are the biggest one in the local market.
But if you're just out for a vacation and avoiding the world of business, don't worry. This hotel also has a much softer side. This is a great location to just relax and enjoy. In the mornings, you can take a sumptuous breakfast buffet while gazing out over the view of Lima or the huge rolling waves of the ocean, followed by a dip in one of the highest pools in town. Perfect. But should you want to soak with a little extra privacy, then check into the presidential suite on the 11th floor. It not only has terrific views, but has its own outside plunge pool as well. Just perfect for a little romance. It does seem that nothing beats a candlelit dinner. However, it's time to enjoy the moment and the views and store them as memories because we must move on. We are flying off again to Peru's second largest city, Arequipa. Like Lima, the architecture steals the show. Great parks, great squares, but we have flown here not to stay and admire, but to drive to one of the highest hotels in the world. High in the Andean mountains, we are heading for Colca Canyon. The 4-hour drive takes you to an altitude of 5,000 meters, the same height as base camp in Mount Everest. But the long drive is worth it, for this impressive canyon, which, by the way, is twice as deep as the Grand Canyon in Arizona, is home to these enormous birds, the condor. These sacred Andean birds are actually very large vultures. They have enormous wingspans of up to 3.2 meters, and so are well known for their elegant and spectacular flight. But beware, these birds are so powerful, they will take a small calf or goat from the edge of the cliff, if given half the chance. Nature, wildlife, and trekking are at the heart of our next hotel. But can that be achieved in world-class style at such high altitudes? Well, you're looking at Las Casitas del Colca, or the Little Houses of Colca, and each one in this remote village-styled resort is yours to stay in, to live in, and feel at home.
When we just made the first house, the sample casita, most of the people, we didn't know how to call it. Not a room, not a house, so we called them casitas. And when we started doing looking for the name of the property, I was looking at the guest comment that the people say on our guest book, and they say, most of them say, we feel like home. We feel like we like it the same, they make us feel like a family. So casitas, I think, involve that, like a little house.
These little houses are truly the height of luxury. Each villa has its own private plunge pool that isn't overlooked by any neighbors. They all have a log fire in the bedroom, and the decor is with local beauty in mind, with an emphasis placed on natural materials. Walls are made of brick, while roofs are constructed of wood and handcrafted tiles. In the suite, it's all mod cons, with Wi-Fi and even a dock for your MP3 player. But it's the inside-outside bathrooms that are just simply beautiful. Here, the experience is very back to nature. Just imagine, for example, showering under the open sky. When you stay here, be prepared to join in with all of the activities. It's a little tough at first, as some people do struggle with the altitude, but the thin air is exhilarating. Walks, rides, or fishing at these heights are somehow made even more special. You really feel that you've earned the downtime for a little siesta by your plunge pool, or, of course, a massage in the spa. Inspired by the Inca world, this haven of relaxation embraces nurturing philosophy with a unique menu of revitalizing body treatments inspired by fresh herbs and organic products that are indigenous to the Andes, Colca Valley, and the highlands of Peru. This is a fantastic place for children to stay, as well as the fun of the water activities in the pool, they are encouraged to explore and discover. It's a little like staying on a farm with endless gardens and fish-filled ponds. Even a walk through the expansive vegetable gardens can turn into an adventure for the young at heart. It was always the plan for this resort to become completely self-sufficient with its fresh produce. But the gardeners have been so successful at growing all manner of herbs and root vegetables that they have started to help the local community by providing the ingredients to make soup for the needy of a nearby village.
Sister Antonia is from the Merignol congregation. She's in Peru like 50 years, and in Colca especially, she's 35 years. She's living here. She helped to the community, the poor people, with breakfast every day. She prepares like 400 breakfasts for the people who need it. And the way that she asks for the payment or like a contribution is with a piece of wood or a piece of something that helps to make a fire. They start 3:30 in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning to prepare either a soup or some milk or any kind of hot meal. And a couple of, they give breads and fruits as well. And they do it from Monday to Saturday.
This scheme is all part of the hotel's commitment to social responsibility. Guests have the option of joining in too by donating just $1 per night.
When all the people is there waiting for them, they register in a book. They leave the piece of wood and they go to receive their breakfast.
And so, at first light every morning, a procession of the hungry begins. Guests are invited to see this humbling sight. For most, it puts life in perspective. And for those who donate, it brings a satisfying feeling. It's good to know that they have helped a local community. And it's also a unique experience to see their charitable results at work firsthand. As the sun rises to warm the day, the hotel activities continue. Here, children and adults alike can learn a little more about this amazing country. You can discover the national Peruvian dress and get up close and personal with the young alpacas at feeding time. For those who like the outside life and plenty of activity, this is a vacation with a difference. It's rustic, energetic, educational, and yet somehow very sumptuous and opulent at the same time. In fact, it's a truly wholesome experience. It's also a place of contrasts. For example, in these altitudes, you will find very high daily temperatures. But at night, with clear skies, the temperature plummets, sometimes to freezing. But thankfully, the chill of the night air is easily offset by a heated plunge pool. And so, with romance in the air, it's time for us to leave this world-class destination. But don't worry, we promise to keep up the search for the best of the best. So till next time, goodbye.
South Africa.
Welcome to World Class, the series that brings you the finest in luxury hotels in some of the greatest destinations our planet has to offer. This time, we visit Johannesburg and Cape Town in beautiful South Africa. In this program, we discover the incredible coastline, beaches, and waterfront at the southernmost point of this incredible country, and of course, where best to stay. Like here, the elegance, charm, and history of this grand old hotel, the Mount Nelson, nestled under the vast landmark of South Africa's Table Mountain. But first, we travel north to the vibrant and colorful city of Johannesburg. This landlocked capital has seen troubled times in its past, but now looks to a bright new future, having regenerated many of the unused and derelict districts into art galleries, shopping malls, and squares with many trendy bars and restaurants. Rising to the demand of an influx of new world-wise visitors, there are many five-star hotels, including this one. Sitting high on a ridge overlooking the city is the West Cliff. Since its opening in 1998, the West Cliff has become the place to stay for the discerning travelers in search of luxury rooms and fine dining. Set in a forest of purple jacaranda trees that bloom for a month beginning late September, the hotel sprawls its way through uphill gardens, rather like a quaint Mediterranean mountain village. All of the rooms and suites are unique in shape, size, and style, giving one the feeling of a luxury apartment rather than the more conventional rooms found in other hotels. In the rooms, you'll find candles in open hearth fireplaces, bouquets of flowers, and crisp Egyptian linen that's carefully turned down daily. These are just a few of the special elements that define luxury and set a true five-star hotel well ahead of its less expensive competitors. But what makes a hotel really special is not the thread count of the sheets, but the friendliness of the staff. Welcoming smiles are hard to come by these days, but here they can be found in abundance. For you see, to be employed by a hotel of this caliber is a reflection of each individual's talent, all immensely proud and genuinely happy to be of service. For a delightful experience, take a walk around the property. There, you will encounter shaded gardens, hidden fountains, and summer terraces. You will also experience panoramic views of the jacaranda trees, which spread out like a carpet beneath your feet, and reach towards the Johannesburg Zoo. The zoo, which covers seemingly limitless acres, actually started life as a farm in the early 1900s. It was later developed into a zoo. In those early days, many of the animals were kept in cages in very poor conditions. Thankfully, those days are long gone, and today, the zoo's ethos is that of education and conservation. As our man Pete explains,
we want the animals to be as free as possible, to feel that, to have happy animals, you'll look at their weight, you look at how they look, they will look very nice. Then that is what the idea that's, we do not want to cage animals. We want to put them in areas that they are relaxed. They are not even aware that they are in a sort of enclosures. Small cages are not good. We will not want to keep animals in small cages. What we do is basically the zoo is we're getting animals into, we are zoning, putting animals according to the areas that they're coming from. And then in that regard, we mimic those kind of environment where those animals come. So that is the idea and the way that the zoo is taking in creating those kind of environment. We have the Central African areas, whereby when we want a person, when you walk in the walkthroughs, you see that you are part of the animals. You don't see them from a distance. You just walk next to them. You have that feeling that, hey, you are in a forest environment.
Food enrichment programs are in place to encourage and educate animals to seek their own nourishment, so that whenever possible, they can be released back into the wild. Pete's main responsibility is the hoof stock, which of course includes these tall and elegant creatures. He takes every opportunity to show off his giraffes up close and personal to the many school trips that visit. Here, the children quickly learn that you can tell a giraffe's age by its color as they darken with age.
It's all about conservation, and it's all about education and entertainment. Currently, we are also moving more in the direction of trying to research about issues in the zoo and the world. Basically, with the zoo idea now is to try and help the in-situ conservation and participate more in assisting the in-situ conservation.
Johannesburg is built on the mineral-rich Witwatersrand hills and valleys, and so has developed thanks to the many mines of diamonds and gold. In the 90s, this city was ranked as one of the most dangerous in the world. But thanks to a more stable economy and some drastic measures by the municipal government that included closed-circuit cameras on every street corner, the crime levels have dropped substantially. Still today, common sense and care should be taken when sightseeing. As with any major city, avoid flaunting any wealth, such as expensive cameras and gold watches, and avoid straying away from the main public areas. In the evenings, the Melrose and Santon are vibrant and safe places to visit, with many chic bars and restaurants. When in doubt, always seek advice from your hotel personnel, because concierge staff like Alwyn Hoffman are always in the know on where to go.
I'm often asked at the reception concierge desk, is it safe to go in Johannesburg? Well, I go in there every week, basically, to the post office, and I have a passion for the city. The West is located 5 minutes from the zoo, 10 minutes from the first shopping district, the gold mine behind me, the city centre with its diversity of buildings, and we also have the second biggest collection of Art Deco buildings in the city. You have the biggest man-made forest in the southern hemisphere, and it's thanks to our pioneers who came in early 1800 in search of gold, the landlords. They planted the trees across the road from us, and we're fortunate to have the trust who manages that, and we are told to build around the trees and not remove the trees. So we're fortunate for that.
The hotel competition here is stiff. How does the West Cliff compare?
This is a world-class hotel and meets up with the top 20 in the world. I would say across the board range of clients, ranging from your corporate client to celebrity artists, pop stars, even royalty. A good time of the year to come, I must be honest, would be end of October when the jacarandas are in bloom. And it's also start of our rainy season, and you have a dramatic silhouette behind you at night with the lightning and the thunder, and in the daytime, crystal blue skies.
Only in Africa is an electrical storm something to look forward to. This is the biggest light show on Earth, and a regular occurrence that somehow adds an air of dramaticism to romance. In any case, if you'll pardon the pun, a storm like this will be over in a flash. This safari-decorated watering hole, the Polo Lounge, is ideal for pre-dinner drinks and is populated by both visitors and locals alike, as is La Belle Terrasse, a fine dining restaurant offering you the chance to try many South African specialties, such as springbok and ostrich, as well as providing one of the best views in town. It really is the perfect venue for a last meal in Johannesburg, before your departure to the magnificent coastline of Cape Town. Cape Town is known as the Mother City of South Africa, and at its heart is the Mount Nelson Hotel, which has been welcoming guests for over 110 years. Guests reach the hotel through the historic Prince of Wales Gateway and up an impressive and imposing avenue of palm trees, which give way to over 7 acres of gardens, where rose-filled herbaceous borders of a typical English garden combine stunningly with African blooms. The hotel just recently opened a spa, which welcomes both hotel guests and Cape Townians. The Labrisa Spa has been created by converting one of the oldest residential homes in Cape Town, giving the contemporary treatment rooms a spacious and homey feel. Built to accommodate the passengers of the Union Castle shipping line, the Mount Nelson Hotel has the feel of a timeless classic. Celebrities come here for privacy, and it is a place of celebration and relaxation. The hotel is perhaps most famous for the English tradition of afternoon tea, where cakes, scones, sandwiches, and pastries galore are spread out on an antique table. Tea can be taken by the fire in the lounge during the cooler winter months, or out on the sun terrace.
I think the very fact that it has history, it's got elegance, it's sophisticated, it's got tradition, it's got a personality. It really has got a personality. She's well known. Obviously, she's over the years we've adapted her. She's now. She's a hotel. Not only is she a tradition, but she's actually fun as well. There's a lot of things to do at the hotel. She's a popular watering hole for the local Cape Townians and international travellers alike. She's just wonderful.
The hotel is also child-friendly, offering a children's club for toddlers and another for teens. The rooms also include teddy bears, drawing packs, and children's dressing gowns.
A lot of American visitors actually love coming here for obviously the hotel's history. Another aspect which I think is really wonderful is we have the most incredible bedrooms and suites, some really spectacular suites. Over a quarter of our room stock are in fact suites, and they're very sizable, they're very comfortable, each one individually furnished, so it's they're very, very nice indeed. Cape Town is just such a spectacular destination. I mean, it's in Africa, but it's not really Africa. It's close to what one knows as Africa. I mean, the Karoo is not far away, and we've got the West Coast. But Cape Town, I just think it enhances everything that is so beautiful about the continent. It's got mountains, it's got the beaches, it's got the sea, obviously, beautiful vineyards not far away. It is spectacular, the peninsula, Table Mountain, there's just so much to see and do. The weather, of course, is normally absolutely perfect, which makes for a lot of, especially from the Northern Hemisphere, the Europe and the UK, makes for a wonderful destination.
The sightseeing list is endless here. There are some wonderful shops, bars, and restaurants in the main town, but a day spent in the more touristy waterfront development is a must. Here you'll find arts and crafts, Western bars and fast food joints, along with traditional food and large shopping malls. This is a very busy area by night or day, with lively street performances around every corner. The most popular mall is the Victoria Wharf, that has food courts and many of the familiar large brand shops that you would expect to find at home. January and February are the hottest months in South Africa, where temperatures soar to 35 degrees Celsius, so these covered walkways are ideal to escape from the intense heat of the midday sun. One of the most magical elements of this country is its wildlife. Even at the waterfront, you will see many species of birds. But children will also be delighted to spot these wonderful creatures, seals. These comical animals can often be found swimming along the quays or sunbathing on mooring platforms. To best familiarize yourself with the country, take a ride along the coast by helicopter. There are 2 helicopter firms based at the waterfront who offer these thrilling rides along the coast with trips from 15 minutes up to a full hour. The coastline is simply magnificent, with beaches to suit all tastes, from pebbly and rocky with large rolling waves crashing to the shore, to long and idyllic sandy beaches with a calm and shallow sea. Just perfect for toddlers to experience that foot-tickling sensation as they take their first steps into the ocean. This is Camps Bay, about a 15-minute drive from the heart of Cape Town. It is one of the most popular beaches, with many hotels and restaurants along the shoreline. A drive inland takes you to Bow Cape, the Cape Malay Quarter, with brightly painted pastel-colored houses. These areas are far less touristy and well worth seeking out, as is the Church Street Antique Market and the Old Biscuit Mill Market that's filled with local produce. We suggest a picnic by the beach or atop Table Mountain itself. These places are not only fun to visit, but they give you the real feel of South Africa, as they are used by locals more than visitors. Instead of renting a car, perhaps it would be wise to arrange for a hotel driver for a day to visit the winelands of Stellenbosch and Constantia. Some of the best New World wines are produced here. Famous producers include Speer, Jordan, and Nedenburg. All offer superb Cabernets that are smooth and rich to the palate, with full tanning. Many bottles are perfect to drink now, but if you can bear to wait, the better priced are ideal to store away for a few years. These caves offer wine tasting that is unusually al fresco, as opposed to the norm of sampling the grape underground amidst dusty barrels. Many of the vineyards also offer superb restaurants with dishes designed around their wines and daily changing menus that are created around fresh seasonal produce that's sourced from local farms. Just over the hills from the vineyards of Constantia is the naval town of Simonstown, where located on False Bay is perhaps the best beach of all, Boulders Bay. So named after the large boulders, this beautiful area provides picture-perfect examples of what all little bays should portray. The sea is always cool and refreshing here, and the water is crystal clear, with rock pools to explore and high natural ledges to leap from. But perhaps most exciting is that this is the home to a colony of penguins who have become urbanized. The Cape penguins, who were formerly known as jackass penguins, actually share this beach and the surrounding neighborhood gardens with their human friends. Today, they have been given their own beach to roost and rear their young. But you can still watch them from a viewing platform, where they can watch you too. Once again, it's the wonder of wildlife that steals the show in this dramatic continent. World Class will always endeavor to find you the very best in luxury accommodations, fine dining, and cultural experiences. And South Africa has something for every discerning traveler. From gourmets to nature lovers, from thrill seekers to chill seekers. So as we let these little guys go to sleep, the World Class team bids you farewell from sunny South Africa. Be sure to join us next time. Till then, goodbye.